Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Warhammer multiplayer. This is going to be the Greenskins versus the Empire. For my army we have 5 Orc Biggins because it has been a long time since I have done a Orc Biggin line only. These used to be kind of like the mainstay Orc infantry way back in Warhammer 1 days. But I believe they were nerfed a couple times. Either that or just other units just got better. But you don't see main lines of these that much anymore. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go nostalgia on this game and bring a bunch of Orc Biggins. So I'm going to see if they still have what it takes to take out the Empire at the very least. So that is our main line. Our anti-large is going to be 2 Savage Orc Biggins, 1 on each flank over here to try and deal with any Demigryph Knights or whatever the enemy brings against us. We also have 2 Trolls to try and assist the Orc Biggin line against a line of Great Swords, which is why I basically brought these. For our leadership, we have a Goblin Big Boss on a Spider Mount. We also have an Orc Shaman with, here we go, the Big Foot and the Brainbuster, and then being led by Skarsnik. Because, I don't know, Skarsnik needs some love. And that is going to be the main part of the army. Over here on the flank, we have a Durkix Squigs, the renowned Squig Hopper, which are, I think, really good since they're changed to armor-piercing focus. And they also have poison damage and decent stats for their cost. And then over here, we have 2 Night Gobos that were Vanguard deployed. For the enemy, you can see Illuminarch shots going off against one of our trolls here. They are being led by Balthazar Gelt, which you don't see too often, so it's always a pleasure to see him. Obviously, a Illuminarch of Heish. We have 2 Flagellants, 3 Great Swords, 2 Spearmen, 1 Halberd in the back. I'm sorry, 3 Spearmen, and 1 Halberd in the back, and then 3 Hand Gunners. They also have 1 group of Empire Knights that we have just discovered in the forest, and that is their army. So seeing these Knights in the forest, now obviously large creatures, like both of these units, have a penalty in the forest, but the Empire Knights' defensive stats are not that great, so I thought the Turkish Squigs could actually really do a good job, because the Empire Knights don't even hit hard as well, and so the armor piercing of the Turkish Squigs is actually working pretty well in this kind of matchup, especially in the forest where their charge is kind of negated a little bit. And we are just kind of eating them alive here before they are going to be able to withdraw into the safety of their spearmen. So we're actually going to be pulling our Turkish Squigs back. And they're also going to get shot at here by the handgunners. Slowly moving our Night Goblins over here. And our main line is also moving forward. I had to stop some of our trolls because they were getting ahead of the main line. Here you see we're going to be netted by the Luminarch of Heish ability. But that's okay. We're going to be running in our big boys. Our Savage Orcs going to be coming in. And we're going to be able to tie up these spearmen with the, I believe, this Orc Biggin. And this Savage Orc is actually going to go through the line and hit another Spearman or a Halberd back here, I believe. But we're trying to just make sure that the Zerkic Squigs are alive and active, ready to kill the Empire Knights. That's kind of what their main goal is going to be. Even though they're geared for infantry, looking at what the enemy brought, I'm actually more concerned about trying to take out their mobility first. Our Night Goblins are going to be discovered out here, but we are going to be able to maneuver them, I believe, like this. And then one's going to be tying up some spears, the other one's going to be trying to go after the Riflemen. We have a wall in the middle of the line, and the trolls are already been hammered by the Luminarch, and by the handgunners. We're going to have a Foot of Gork being dropped here pretty soon. Nice shot there from the Luminarch into our Orc Shaman, so we're going to try and move him over here out of the range, forces him to at least turn. Foot of Gork, I was hoping it would do more damage to the Luminarch fish, but we did at least get some good damage on the handgunners, and I'm going to be whipping around our Goblin Big Boss to get on the Luminarch. The Luminarch is not a fighter at all. It's very squishy, especially when it comes, or is going to be assaulted by a Goblin Big Boss, so that's why we're sitting this guy up there. Skarsnik is actually taking a lot of damage from Final Transmutation, which has been cast by Balthazar Gelt, and the Great Swords that he is fighting to try and support the Orc Biggins. Now, don't worry about this troll. We are keeping them as a strategical support unit, and need to bring them up when the time calls for it. If the time calls for it, I'm going to say. Over here, the Orc Biggins are just smashing the Spearmen because of course they are. And our Durkic Squigs have done a lot of good damage to the Empire Knights, as well as our Savage Orc Biggins, who are really good at killing Empire Knights. Empire Knights are really good, I think, for the price. They're very tanky, or at least high armored, but I mean, Savage Biggins do a lot of damage, and we have a lot of armor piercing with the Durkic Squigs. Over here, we're now chasing off the Temple off Luminarch because the Goblin Big Boss is just a boss, especially when it comes to kind of lower armored and like really low melee defense units like the Illuminarch of Fish. And now our Night Gobos, again, one is tying up 2 Spearmen, the other one is chasing off these Riflemen, and we also have a Durkic Squigs, Headbuster or Brainbuster from the Orc Shaman going down to those Halberds, trying to assist in our battle with the Savage Orcs there. And you can see, like, the Orc Biggin line still kind of has it. Now, this Orc Biggin and this Greatsword, you know, these two, it's kind of like a 2v2 fight here, and they did pretty well considering that the Greatswords are armor-piercing anti-infantry, also more expensive than the Orc Biggins. Now, the thing is, though, the Orc Biggins got their charge off with their massive 27 charge bonus, which is massive for an infantry unit. That's one of the greatest strengths of the Greenskins. Their infantry has insane charge bonuses. And the Greatswords did not, so that definitely did not help them. But even without the charge, like, Orc Biggins, honestly, I was hoping the Greatswords would do better, because, like, I want the Empire Infantry to be better, because this is their, you know, their elite of the elite, but they have just been nerfed to hell. But, yeah, so Orc Biggins obviously would lose a little more if the Greatswords managed to get a charge off, but still, did pretty good. And before Balthazar Gelt can get another final transmutation off on Skarsnik, we're going to chase him off with the Goblin Big Boss and Skarsnik himself, and that's going to lead to a shatter of the Empire army, leaving only their flagellants left alive. Oh, and I thought this was a good time to get our trolls up into the fight, because obviously we needed their help at this point. I never forgot them. I always knew they were there, just needed to bring them up at the right time. So a good game to the Empire. And it's, again, another sad day for the Greatswords. They still got a lot of kills, as they should. I mean, they are anti-infantry Greatsword armor-piercing units, so... yeah, I wanted them to do better. On the charge, I'm sure they would have won clean against the Biggins. Well, maybe not, like, super clean, but kind of clean against the Biggins. But without the charge, it was kind of almost an even fight, really. This troll got almost destroyed early on, so it didn't get to do too much, and this one was left again in reserves for when we needed them. Durgic Squigs did a lot of work, killing a lot of the Empire Knights, as did our Savage Orc Biggins. One of these were fighting off Greatswords and Spearmen, I think. The other one was fighting the Empire Knights as well. Orc Shaman getting 73 kills with the Brain Busters that we cast. I think there was 2 or 3 Brain Busters, and then the Foot of Gork. I don't even think we cast Here We Go at all. And Skarsnik just doing some damage to the Greatswords, really. And the Goblin Big Boss did really well. Didn't seem to do much, but he kind of did. He warded off the Luminarch, because if the Luminarch was still around, Skarsnik would have been dead, Orc Shaman probably would have been dead, and it would eventually kill the Goblin Big Boss too, because we can't take many hits from a Luminarch. That's why I needed to try and kill it fast. And so this very fast mover, the Goblin Big Boss, is a great assassin for the Greenskins. Very cheap, very effective, so I love the Goblin Big Bosses. For Chris here, we got 33 kills up on the Sword Gelt with some of their spells, including Final Transmutation, which hurts a lot. The Greatsword line, we already talked about them. And then the Handgunners, they didn't get much of a chance to do much. We had our Night Gobbos right on their face. The Durkic Squigs were coming in pretty quickly. And their front line was all engaged because we had so much infantry. They just didn't have enough units to block them all. So yeah, the Riflemen didn't really get to do a whole bunch because I was pouncing on them. And that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let's go see a cinematic view of the Greenskins versus Empire. Ooh.
Nice one.
Yeah, right? It was a good shot. I really love that they gave the Squig Riders armor piercing now. Because they're such a cool unit. And now they have armor piercing, they have so much more use in the Greenskin army. Now, I feel like I should say this right here. If you have problems giving orders to your army, you know, like attack orders, like, you know, flagellants on the Savage Orcs, you know, Greatswords, so on and so forth. Just remember, you can put all of this, especially your frontline forces, into a control group, lock the control group, and then that way, if it's locked, you just right-click on one unit, and all of your units will find basically the closest target to go and attack. So if they had done that, they would have got the charge bonus off, and you wouldn't have to worry about, you know, individually clicking. Now, if you're really going to micro fast enough, then you, of course you can individually click your units, which is something I try to do. But you know, just another friendly reminder: just control group, lock, single right click will have them charge forward, and usually they will go just straight forward to the nearest unit. It's really good and a nice way to save up on some micro. Just anyway.
Let's fight! Legging it! Running! Moving fast! Shifting it! Running! Moving fast! Running!
This is some point blank fire right here. I forgot I did that.
Running!
That was from Skarsnik. And then here come the Night Gobos! You never see him coming. Until you do.
Get a killer! Help it out! Running! Shifting it! Yeah, I'll do
And then there's that big boss.
Moving fast!
Like 2 or 3 hits, that thing was basically gone.
Running! Come on, lads!
Whoops. I guess I was just trying to walk Skarsnik through there. Oh! Get him, Goblin!
Running! Moving fast! Moving fast! Stubborn! Got it! Yes! Running! Running!
But yeah, like right there, Skarsnik was almost dead, so I guess they thought that Gelt could maybe take him in melee. Skarsnik is still a decent fighter, especially when it comes to anti-large, and he has poison attacks. Also, I had the Scroll of Shielding cast on him, which gave him extra damage reduction. Resistance, sorry. But still, he almost did die. And that's when I was like, oh shit! Go get him, Gabo! And then Gabo Big Boss comes in like, I got you, Papa Skarsnik. And then Balthazar Gelt's like, well, peace out. Whoa! That poor flashlight. Oh, Jesus. Greenskins are so much fun. I love them. They're still, I think, one of my favorites. Definitely like top 2, probably. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you all next time. Take care.